Okay, can you hear me? Okay.
1
I
second.
think I got, oh wait,
Give us 1 second. We're setting, the live stream is doing its thing right now. It'll take a second. And then we can, if I hear you twice, I'll hang up the phone.
Okay, now I should be in and you should be able to hear sound. Okay, let's see. Oh, I'm on twice. Why am I on twice?
All right. Okay.
Okay, can you? Okay.
Yeah, I would
Hang
like
up the
to,
phone.
call the meeting at 6:23.
I second it.
What's that?
I second it.
Okay,
So freaking, I'm in my bathing suit, guys, sorry.
We don't care. You look great.
Okay, no, I know
It
it.
should be okay. Oh, because we're. It doesn't matter if they see her or not. Okay. I don't know for this, 2 people in the audience, do we need to read the meeting policy?
we should, let me pull it up. Oh, I have it saved somewhere. Canton, is it that one? Planning board meeting rules. Oops. Planning board meeting rules are posted in the meeting room. This is so everyone will understand that while the planning board meetings are public proceedings, the public has no right to participate unless the planning board allows it or the meeting is scheduled as a public hearing. Anyone who wishes to speak about a topic must request to be placed on the agenda 5 working days prior to the meeting day. The chairperson will allow 15 minutes for open discussion at the end of the planning board meeting. Anyone speaking to the board will do so in a civil tone. Yelling, swearing, or belittling will not be allowed. Anyone doing so will be asked to leave. Will be asked to sit down as a warning. If order is not observed, the person will be asked to leave. If that person does not leave, law enforcement will be called to remove the person from the meeting and charges will be filed. Anyone speaking will represent themselves unless written permission is given from a person wanting to be represented by someone. All cell phones should be turned off or placed on silent. And that is all. All right, so we're gonna go over the last meeting minutes
Which are from August 25th.
on the 25th.
I believe I motioned to adjourn and Dawn seconded.
Yes.
I will make those corrections.
All right, I motion to pass the meeting minutes of August 25th.
You agree? I second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Did you hear me?
Yeah, Dawn, can you hear us?
Yep. Can you hear me? No. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I second it. Okay.
Okay, Dawn will second it.
All right. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. I didn't see any CEO actions that were given to us for review this week. I know the code enforcement officer has some. Probably at our next meeting, we should double check updates on permits, because I know there's been quite a slew of permits coming through in the last couple of weeks. At next meeting. I thought the select board is their meeting next week. I don't know what their schedule is. I'll find out. And I will get the the cemetery cluster and sewer to you guys for one more quick look see before we send it to the select board.
Okay.
And at the last meeting, we spent a lot of time starting on the recommendation section of the comp plan, and I think we need to continue to build that. But I think if we look at the agenda for today, I think we have first we have a new planning board member, potential new planning board member here. You can't see her, Dawn.
Yeah.
But Robin, if you want to stand up and just wave your hand for a second, because this thing here captures you.
And then you'll be on the.
Did you get me?
Hi.
Hi.
I don't,
So Robin, if you want to just give us 2 minutes on who you are, when you came to town, where you live, whether you want to be on the planning board. We just love you. And she's a Cubs fan, clearly.
yeah, see that.
I, here 2 years ago, retired from Baxter Healthcare Corporation. I was, God, I can't believe I'm giving my resume. Global project manager for, 30 years there.
You look like you're 25.
Oh, thank you
I
very
really
much.
can't imagine.
Thank you very much.
30 years.
Yeah, I've always wanted to get back to the community, but I worked 60-hour weeks for Baxter, so that just was not a thing when I was working then.
Yeah.
Now that we've moved out here, I've been coming here my whole life. My grandfather was Albert Adam. He's, you guys know Bernard mostly. He's, the middle child.
Yep.
Bernard, Albert, and Leslie. So he's my grandfather. So that's my tie to the area. And, yeah.
Did you grow up at Pine Haven? Spending time at Pine Haven?
No, that was before my time. I think my aunt, who was the youngest, was the last one to spend time there. But no, we have the Rocky Point property down in front of Judy's, and Judy Hamilton's house. We just bought that back, 5 years ago, I guess. It went out of the family for a while and then we got it back and
Cool.
bought some property.
And they just built a really pretty house on Staples Hill.
Yeah, I have a pretty house on Staples. Thank you.
Welcome, welcome. What we can do is give you there is a planning board manual
Okay.
that we can give you as kind of some background material.
Okay.
If not, I can get it to you digitally too. Before you leave today, you don't have to put on the public record, but just give us phone and email before you leave for our records, and then we'll get you on it. We have a planning board text group as well. Like if we have to change a meeting, we can just kind of get a hold of each other pretty quickly.
And there's a training that the office can sign you up for that will help you. It's foreign, but.
I found it fascinating.
Well,
I didn't know anything about
As long as it's not HIPAA.
No.
Not every 6 months of
No.
my life
No.
or 30 years or GDP. And I need to know about practices anymore.
It's a lot about the Freedom of Information Act and
That I can go for.
meeting conducting, like how you can't meet up at the Big Apple, have a conversation, like talk about how you're gonna vote on something. All that conversation has to be in
That'd be
in a
interesting.
public.
Yeah.
So I can get
But the
that.
office, yeah, it's Zoom. And I've asked Tom to, since I'm the liaison, to be included in your communications too. It would be helpful, please.
I didn't know. I thought I was at the meeting where they were discussing whether they're gonna have liaisons or not. And the conversation never concluded, so I didn't know that there was an official liaison.
The 5 departments each have a point person. Is what they call that now, and then like. Budget committee, planning board, rec, park and trail. Has liaison. I can tell you who the point persons are for the departments, but I can't. I have to look up for the liaisons.
Okay.
Buddy. Did you think I was just coming for show?
I thought you said nothing else better to do, Robin. So that would give us, if Ms. Wade is going to be officially appointed at the next select board meeting, and then you have to get sworn in. Well, then we'll get you to the next meeting, which are typically on the first and third Thursdays
Yeah.
of every month. Now, it doesn't always happen that way, but
Yeah,
and we try to be, we're pretty flexible because we don't usually have an audience. It's not like if we have something controversial, we're not gonna, change the date, but if there's no real reason to not change the date for a day or two
Right.
to accommodate somebody's schedule, we'll do that. So if we had 4 members, then we would need a 5th. That would be late. We had a full board for
If I
about,
knew more people around here, I'd go on.
thank you. We had some for about 6 months. That was it.
Right?
All right, I guess our solar application.
So I want to do one thing with this. Again, I honestly didn't even know this was coming in until I got it in the mail when I
Mhm.
got here. I didn't see any email correspondence about it, nor did I see, again, the agenda for today's meeting. I would like to postpone voting on any of that until at least next meeting, so we can have the agenda published, people can see it.
Mhm.
And then that way and I would like to do it so that we don't have technical difficulties with Zoom and all that stuff, so we can all sit down and look this over and decide whether or not it meets our ordinance. So I am going to make a motion to table that portion of our agenda till next meeting.
All right, I'm just looking
What
at
portion is that?
it to the town office. I believe. Okay. All right. So for Robin's benefit, I guess we could still start looking at it and discuss and have our conversation in anticipation of next week, for the next meeting. I don't know what's
What is
different
it?
about this necessarily than the previous application.
I glanced at it briefly and nothing has changed.
Okay.
They're not asking for a variance. They're
Are you talking about solar?
basically just they're basically just saying that it's been consistent with the requirements listed as the Canton Solar Ordinance adopted in
Right.
2004.
Okay,
But looking it over, nothing has changed.
all right.
So you're talking about the solar.
Hold on. You're now on speaker, sorry.
Okay, you're talking about the solar.
Yeah, Mr.
Yes,
Barrett.
okay.
For the Tonello Solar Project, he
Yes.
submitted a new application, or resubmitted his application with a
Yep.
new permit fee
Okay,
for consideration.
okay. So you want to table that, right, Tom, until next meeting?
I was motioning to table it until next meeting. The meeting agenda didn't get posted. So
Okay,
people
I got you. All right,
prefer to table it until next meeting, until the agenda can get put out there and people can see what we're doing.
Yep, absolutely.
I agree.
All right.
I agree. All right, I'll let him know that it will be on the agenda for the next meeting. Usually we have 30 days from the time they submit an application to consider it.
Okay.
So that works. Our next meeting is the 18th of September.
Yeah,
And just for Robin Wade's understanding, I'm happy to send you, well, actually, we just need to consider what's in front of us. We will get you a copy of the solar ordinance.
Okay.
Which is the ordinance against which we review applications. The planning board is in charge of reviewing those applications. We reviewed it earlier. We found it complete. He's got all the right pieces. The question was, when the town wrote the ordinance, and it was a select board, planning board joint exercise in writing that ordinance. They defined large, medium, and small solar installations, We already have one large solar installation behind the nursing home. The town said, that's it, we only want one, we can't have any more large ones. We defined, we said you could have up to 3 medium ordinances or 3 medium installations, and we defined them as either less than 6 acres and or 1 megawatt DC. Their proposal is 5.45 acres, so it meets the size requirement physically. It is 1 megawatt AC, not DC. When you convert AC to DC, it's a little bit over 1 on DC. So because we have language in it that says and or, they're asking to be considered for the size, not necessarily the wattage.
Yeah.
And so we determined in their previous application that the planning board has the jurisdiction to grant that, to determine that it is complete and compliant and move it along the process. Which the process for a solar application is once it goes from here, it goes through public hearing. After the public hearing, it goes to the select board for final say. But there's a discussion about the and or clause in the prior application.
And then on top of that, so we denied their application based off of the solar farm has had a nameplate for the power output. And we have it rated in DC power, well, they wanted to rate it in AC power. So that CMP could use that energy for what they call net energy billing. Or basically they would buy that energy from the solar farm. We denied it off of the nameplate. We then had to create an appeals board because they appealed our decision. Appeals board looked it over, attorney looked at it, and then basically said in the ordinance, we didn't put any definitions as to what happens if someone appeals it. So the appeals board could not say yes or no.
They had no standing.
They had no standing on it. So
And some,
that kind of like washed it out.
yeah, some of our ordinances have clauses in there that say, like the housing minimum lot size ordinance, if you wanna, we say you have to be, I'm just gonna make this up, 30 feet from the lot line is your house, right? So if somebody says, well, I wanna put mine 28 feet for whatever reason, there's a giant rock, blah, 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 right? To get that an appeal or variance from that ordinance criteria, you have to go to an appeals board, but that's written into the ordinance. In our ordinance, in the solar ordinance, it says basically the planning board does that. So I think because it's a new ordinance and the first time somebody was really testing it, we gave it to the select board jumped and gave it to the appeals board. The appeals board has no standing. So it's coming back full circle. And I think if we had maybe taken our time and maybe looked at that in a different light, we would have said, oh, we can just decide this. So it's coming back around again. That's where we are.
Here's the paper.
So I don't know what else we really have on our agenda other than I will also make sure, Robin, you get the updated copies of the cemetery ordinance, the cluster housing ordinance, and the sewer ordinance, which are things that we've been updating over the last 6 months or so. Cemetery had some very minor changes, sewer had very minor changes. Think what?
Driving into Canton.
Oh,
Like during the time meeting.
Cluster housing had a few more changes, and our job is to really, when they say planning, it's land use planning for the town.
Yeah.
That's kind of what our charter is. I will send you the planning board ordinance too, that tells you exactly what we're supposed to do. Some of those are on the town website. I think most of them, they should be on the town website.
Some of them are.
Yes. That's helpful for.
Yeah, we've had such turnover in the town office that, like a lot of times we don't even have the signed copies once we get approved at town meeting. And it's got to go back and, track stuff down.
They
So,
actually have quite a bit on there now.
yeah, I think they've got most of them.
That'd be great.
Yeah, our charter was really, I mean, personally, I got involved years ago because most of our ordinances were 30 years out of date. And people would ask for something and they're like, well, it's not technically in our ordinance, but it's in the state's ordinance version of it, right? We're just so far behind. So we've just been working our way through every single ordinance, updating them. And then we had some that had no signatures on them. I don't know when they were enacted. I mean, they were just,
Yeah.
the bookkeeping was a little jagged. So we've tried to clean up some of that kind of stuff and just
That's great.
get a little bit more professional. And I think the coup de grace will be the comp plan, which is our 10-year comprehensive plan for the town. The last one was 2004, so we're about 20 years behind.
Right, wow.
By the time we're done this, we're gonna have to rewrite it again.
Maybe. We started it before COVID.
Yeah,
And we had a committee that was working on it, and you have to update these kind of historical chapters, like the background of. The different areas are like people, all about the population changes. What about housing? What about transportation, natural resources, agriculture, town services, municipal services, the budget, right? So that people had updated all those things, and then during COVID, everything fell apart. And then that original committee had a lot of different issues, and so as somebody had family issues, somebody died, you know, so they kind of disbanded. And then we've been kind of a hodgepodge putting it back together again, but we're almost at the point where we can say, all right, we've got the history, we've got some of the key takeaways from those sections, like key insights, because what we discovered in the last plan, it started with all this history stuff, and people aren't going to read 20 pages on.
Right.
And you got 10 chapters, each chapter is 5 pages. Nobody's reading 50 pages of stuff. And the recommendations were not very inspiring. They were good, but they weren't very inspiring from the old one. And so it just went on the shelf. And so we did, the committee that started this said, let's redesign it so that it's much more of an action-oriented document. And people get excited about, hey, over the next 10 years, here's where we could go. So we did a couple of visioning sessions.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Do you have a vision?
Oh, yeah. Yes, they did a vision. Yep.
I just wanna figure out how far along we are.
Yep.
Okay, great.
And we're at the spot where we need to, I think, start making the recommendations to say, okay, given all this, what do you, I think we need to do another visioning with the town, because people have moved, you know, a lot of new people have come into
Right.
town. Post-COVID, I think people have different aspects of thought about things. But we need to get the background stuff done and then simplified to something you could use as a stimulus for a brainstorming session, a public brainstorming session.
Because for any grants the town were to apply for. Well, or anybody. A lot of them want the comp plan
Right.
to look at and.
Right.
And if ours isn't up to date, they're like, that's a number one criteria, like for any NEMA grants.
You've looked at other towns' comp plans.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Cool, I'm excited. That's fun.
it is exciting. And so,
That's fun.
yes. So that's kind of where we are in that. We will send you, I think we need to look at our Google Drive, because
Okay.
I think my Google storage was saying it was too much. And I started cleaning some things out, and I think I might have eliminated a couple things from there. I have all the originals, I can put them back, but we need to give Robin access to that once you're officially.
Yeah.
There's more of our working
We'll
session.
need to sit down, because if my drive, I still have stuff, but if you go into, and that one's gone. Like the solar ordinance has like all of our, our edits.
Mhm.
And then another one that's saved without the edits, like, do we need all of that still, do you think?
No, you don't need all the edits.
We should just have
The clean,
the clean final
Copy,
version.
copy.
Yeah, cause there's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
well, yeah,
well,
I
13
keep the one that's closest, the one that still shows the edits that's closest to that, and get rid of all the earlier versions.
Yes. I have Skowhegan's in here. Remove.
Yeah, well, those, I mean, we looked at a bunch of other towns.
Yeah.
other ordinances Before we picked out.
And then I have some that won't even open, like the file doesn't even open.
Well, you've already answered all my questions in advance. These are the things that I was gonna ask.
We try.
Vision for the towns, this for us.
We try. Well, and I think the comp plan committee had a vision that came out of these public visioning sessions. That hasn't been like approved or whatever yet.
I had good roles before cousin. For the plan, comp plan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. They published on everything. Yeah.
I don't know what else we have to discuss.
I don't have anything at the moment. I think we need to focus on the comp plan.
Yep.
And try to get that done before we tackle any other ordinances, to be honest with you.
I agree, 100%.
Okay. Short, sweet meeting then.
Okay, sorry I was late.
So I will motion to adjourn.
I second it. Did you hear me?
I heard you, thank you.
Okay,
All those in favor?
I,
I'm raising the hand for you, Suzanne. Okay.
okay, I will be, see you at the next meeting. I'll be back.
You'll be back, okay.
Thank you,
Ciao.
bye-bye.
No, well.
I will put all of this just back in the box, I think.
Why this,
Okay.
this thing stopped moving?
No, I.
They did put a check in with one of them.
That needs to go to Kathy.
Okay,
That was addressed to you? Was the
No.
box addressed to you?
No.
No, was the box addressed to
the
you?
box was addressed to me. So she did, she emailed me.
Don't whisper, you can talk, don't whisper.
She's telling me, she can't talk from it. I'm like, she's not.
No, I said we can't talk during the thing.
We're officially done, and I'm trying to close out this thing.
Okay,
It doesn't
I
necessarily.
will see you